To clean a canister filter, you first have to turn that lever to make sure there is a seal, and then pull the next lever out so that you can remove the hoses from the unit. Of course, electricity has to be turned off first. Here we're removing the lid, so we open the clasp, lift it up carefully and evenly, tip out the excess water that's on the top of the lid. After that, you would then systematically dismantle the filter cartridges. So here is the filter sponges, and I'm putting it into a bucket of aquarium water. So what I normally do is I siphon out the aquarium water into a large bucket. That gives you a clean aquarium water in which to rinse your sponges and filter cartridges in. And the reason we do this is that the aquarium water contains no chlorine when compare that with tap water. And the reason why we do that is because essentially your biofilter is a unit where good beneficial bacteria live to convert fish waste. So if we were to rinse out the filter material in chlorinated water, you're effectively going to kill the bacteria. So this is why we're using aquarium water instead. So after we've taken out all the filter canisters, we then empty out what is remaining in the filter box, and we individually rinse the sponges in the aquarium water, making sure it doesn't dry out. And also notice that the sponges, this is as clean as you want to do it. You don't want it to be perfectly clean, like you don't want it brand new clean. You want to just take out as much of the muck as you can. If you do it too cleanly, you're actually going to dislodge the beneficial bacteria. The bacteria are sticky, they do live on the filter sponges, but if you do it too thoroughly, you're going to dislodge them. And you might have what would be like similar to like a new tank syndrome. So even though your tank is established, if you damage the biofilter by rinsing it too cleanly, or using chlorinated water, or using antibiotics, that's going to harm your biofilter. So your biofilter, so what happens in a fish tank is that fish, when they eat or food that's left over, it breaks down. The fish excretes ammonia. Ammonia is a direct cell toxin, and it's very harmful to the fish. So that's a type of bacteria, the first lot that sort of grows up in your biofilter, called Nitrosomonas. They break down ammonia to nitrite. Nitrite is also harmful to fish. It causes damage to the red blood cells so that the blood is not able to carry blood, oxygenated blood, to the body effectively. With nitrite toxicity, it's also known as brown blood disease. So what do we do with nitrite? There's a second lot of bacteria called Nitrobacter, and these guys break down nitrite to nitrate. Nitrate is effectively less toxic. It only causes trouble when it builds up in high amounts. And nitrates, in the end, it can be removed by partial water changes or by having plants in there to take up the nutrients. So here you can see I've been rinsing each one of these filter material. So we're just giving it a quick vibrating shake through there. All the dirt should dislodge and fall out through the bottom. And we reassemble the filter cartridges the same way, or in a reverse manner of how you took them out. So this is all done, again, I'll stress that this is all done in aquarium water. So just quick rinse, not too cleanly again. You cannot, when you're keeping fish, you cannot be OCD, because yeah, that would be very harmful. So the biggest trick, I guess, for when you put the filter back together is you actually need to fill up this filter cartridge with water. Otherwise the pump won't work because there's no suction. So now we got clean aquarium water from the tank, and we're filling up this filter cartridge or filter chamber until it's full. This means less pumping is required on your part. So you can see here we filled up the water. We'll replace the lid, making sure it sits on flush. Push it down, put the clips on, and now we put it back into its position. Now that's in position, replace the hoses, position it and clip it back on. And then you open up the seals on the hoses, and here you start pumping. So this actually is very useful to pump water from the tank to fill up the hoses. Once all the hoses are filled with water and the filter canister is full of water, what you'll notice is that you might feel a bit more resistance as you're pumping to get more water through. And you can tell that you've got enough when you see water start squirting out from the outlet. So once that's happening, you can actually then turn on the power. So here I'm still pumping, and when we turn on the power switch, you can see then it flows.